basically a gag at this point. My bed always looks so bad at this point. I think it's just like a gag. Alright, hey everybody, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the enhancements on the global set that just dropped not too long ago, not like a day ago or so. Esther, Sylvie, and Elephim, and we're going to go through all three of them. And as always, there is going to be no bias here. I'm just going to tell you straight down the middle what I think about the units, if they're worth your time, and their futures. I want to go ahead and look at that. First of all, Sylvie. And just like I said, we're gonna tell you the straight facts, what's good, what's not so good. So triple cast on turn 1 just like Regis, so make sure you're able to use one of those cooldowns that gives you even more triple cast, because her enhancements give her even more turns on her triple cast when you use those cooldowns. So make sure you're using the cooldown probably on the first turn as well, so then you get the next turn you have even more triple cast. And yeah, they last much longer than the previous time when she was not enhanced, so if you are planning on using her, I definitely at least try to recommend going for that first. Because she was still somewhat useful even without, enhancements, so even with just being able, if you can't really afford to do all of them, at least do the triple cast one first, I think. So she does have 300% defense and spirit buff, and also 300% attack and magic buff. Single target, so there are some, masterminds on shenanigans that you can do with that situation. Everybody's talked about that already. You guys know about that already. I still think that's a really good idea, though. That's a nice little thing that I'm not sure if Umi thought of this through with masterminds on this far ahead, because man, the game is gonna be so weird going into the future with all these things that he can do, copying buffs and things that really weren't intended originally to be copied or distributed. So this is gonna be kind of interesting. 300% buffs are really high, and the reason why it's single target is because it's so strong that literally no other unit has ever had 300% buffs, even if it's only single target. That can be distributed to another unit, that is, because there are units in the far future that have 300% attack or magic buffs and things like that, but stuff like this for Sylvie is something really interesting and unique, and she does have a lot more survivability now with those more stats. The cons, I think it's pretty obvious which ones there are cons. The breaks, they're only 65%, not very good. So you should probably not be relying on 65 breaks when you go into the future. There'll be trials that you'll need 70% breaks minimum to even survive. And only 30% magical and physical evasion, mitigation. But the HP barriers are pretty decent. It's like 5k HP barrier, which is pretty damn good. So all in all, I think that Sylvie is just better. She was just better in the position she was already in, where she was just a jack of all trades but a master of none. Basically, she's good in a lot of situations, but just never going to be the best at those kind of situations. There's going to be a lot of supports that'll be better at a certain situation better than her. But if you don't have those kind of supports, then you can bring Sylvie to a bunch of fights instead of just bringing her to one specific fight. So yeah, hopefully if you guys have Sylvie, you'll be able to work her out her just work out that she does have some flaws about her. So moving on to the next one, Esther. This was the one I was looking forward to enhancing it, but after I saw those things happen in that situation that happened after the maintenance, I don't know now. We have to wait for latent abilities at this point. I'm giving it away already, but sorry about all the sniffling, by the way. My allergies are crazy. So 100% guts, so it's upgraded from 80% to 100 on enhancements, which is pretty decent. I was surprised that her damage is not higher, because she does have 120% perils now, as opposed to before. She does have more mod boosts, 250% attack buff that can't be dispelled, and also those mod boosts, which obviously always aren't dispellables anyways. So she also has more triple cast turns, so you're able to, do those kind of things. Even after her limit burst is over, you're able to go back to triple casting again, without having to worry about, oh, am I going to lose triple cast next turn? There's a lot of downsides to her enhancements. One, that they give all the mod boosts to her ground chaining moves, like her just normal chaining moves, and not the limit burst. The limit burst didn't get any mod boosts from like passives or well, yeah, of course that's upgraded, but that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say like all of her moves don't give mod boost to her limit burst, which is really unfortunate. Her ground chaining is just okay. She's not that great still. And only 50% limit burst damage. Keep in mind if they're the same buff, because she has 2 ways of getting 50% limit burst damage. They will not stack. They'll just, it's just like two of the same buff next to each other. They're just, it's just overriding the other 50% buffs, so it doesn't stack. It's not 100%. It's only 50, because not one is higher than the other. So unfortunately, that's a situation as well. And on top of that, maybe this is wrong, but I think I remember looking at it and it was not even, or she's not even at the point where she was at her pre-release version. I'm not gonna call it nerf anymore because people get mad when you say nerf, pre-nerf, because it technically wasn't a nerf, I guess. The pre-release version, I'm gonna say, the one we saw a long time ago, and she was, readjusted. But she doesn't even have those mods. Like it was like 250% limit burst damage buff or something like that. She doesn't even have that. So if she had that, I think she'd be in a much better position. We'd be talking much more about the bunny girl. But unfortunately, we are not in that position. So really the only thing that will save her is latent abilities, but they would need to come within the next few months, because the power creep is going to be like this, guys. We're already kind of on the slant upwards, like an upward slant. That doesn't make any sense. An upward ramp, whatever you want to call it. And it's just going to keep going higher and higher until it's like going up Mount Everest, basically a power creep. Once Raiden shows up, the power creep is already, the blast doors have been blown from power creep. They can't hold up the power creep anymore, and he's going to be coming eventually, because we know that the Esper units are coming. So there could be even more units even stronger than him that'll come out, global exclusive units and stuff like that. So where is Esther even going to land? I don't know. Latent abilities are not really going to help her that much more. And now this is becoming a very bad precedent of a lot of other counter damage dealers that a lot of people have, like Elena, for example. Everybody's like, oh, Elena's the most popular character in the global game and stuff like that. Same with Esther. She's not going to get bad enhancements, but look at Esther. She was one of among the most popular global exclusives, and they gave her crap. And you want to know why? Because almost everybody has Esther. Everybody pulled her or got her off banner and stuff, so a large majority of players have Esther. But not a lot of people had Tifa or Yigo or Crimson or stuff like that, so that's why they were buffed a little bit more. Because not really anyone used them. No one cared about them before, so it wasn't really affecting them. But since literally almost everybody had Esther and was waiting for Esther's enhancements, buffing her to a strong point would make it so that not many people would pull for new units. Unfortunately, that's just how it goes. I don't agree with that situation. I was looking forward to her enhancements. I was one of you guys that were looking forward to making her good again. And sure, she can clear some decently strong trials, but in the future she will not be able to do that. No way. It's just going to take too long, and there's a lot of trials that require you to beat a certain boss in a certain amount of turns, and it's just not going to work. So her latent abilities are probably just not going to be very good either. That's my prediction. I just feel like that's just going to be the same thing, and Elena's probably going to be in the same situation. Almost everybody has her. They're barely going to buff her, and then everybody gets mad again, and that's it. I hope I'm wrong though, because I want Elephim to be good too. And finally, Elephim. I already knew about her. I used her for a long time on the JP side. Jeez, my nose is crazy. I used her a lot on the JP side for many months, so I knew all about her already. So I had this already made. But there are some global buffs, so we're just going to go into those very quickly. So her limit burst is actually extremely good on the global side compared to. I mean, the JP side was pretty decent too. I used it when I needed like some MP or something. But now her limit burst is actually just all of her enhanced songs at the same time. Both the Spiritual Rondo and also the Passionate, I'm not going to pronounce it, Fuge? That's wrong, probably. But, so, and it also gives 50% HP and MP heal, I think it was. So yeah, it also unlocks dual cast, which is just okay, I guess. Might see some niche uses at some point. So yeah, her limit burst is quite good, and also the global buffs allowed her to get more limit burst crystals when she's using her enhanced songs and things like that. So all in all, For people who's asking, oh, I don't have Riku, well, she's your second best bet. If you have Riku, still maybe you want to consider Elephim because she is really good. She's an extremely good roll compression unit. She's a buffer and a breaker at the same time. That's a good roll compression unit, just like Vaughn in the future is an extremely strong roll compression unit, and I've been using him for a while too. So, she does have AoE Imbue. It's only lasting 1 turn, but AoE Light Imbue is pretty decent. She has no way of imperiling that, so you'd have to use someone else. 75% breaks for defense and spirit and attack and magic on either one of those songs, so you can't use them both at once unless you use your limit burst. 200% buffs, which are not nearly as impressive as they would have been when she released before, but they're still good now, because it's still 200% AoE buffs for each. And one of the most important things, I think everybody knows, she's no longer locked to singing. You can rotate between Spiritual Rondo and also Passionate Fuge. That's what I don't know. So yeah, it's really nice to switch between those, and they also just auto-cast the next turn as well. So it's kind of still like a song if she were singing, but it's not locking her out of a turn anymore. She can do other stuff now. So she is much tankier, especially on the global side. I think she actually got more buffs to survivability. She has 100% immunity to stop, which is extremely good. And like I mentioned, the limit burst fill rate when she uses your enhanced songs. So obviously the most important thing to do on turn 1 is that Spiritual Rondo to get those attack and magic breaks going on. And then for turn 2 you can do the attack and magic buff if you really want to. So turn 3 you just do whatever. You'll get that limit burst filled maybe. So that's about it. Elephim is a very big thumbs up from me. Dark Vision is really useful if you want to use her for Dark Vision, the AoE, Light Imbue, the buffs and stuff like that. Extreme thumb. If I could, my thumb is going through the roof right now with Elephim. For Sylvie, she's good, but like I said, she's not going to be groundbreaking if you have specific support for that specific situation. You're just not really going to look at Sylvie too often. There might be a situation where there's a new global trial or something. I don't know when they're going to make another global trial. Maybe Sylvie will excel in that role. Esther, press F in the chat for Esther, guys. F in the chat. I'm not trying to be too negative, but like she's just not going to be able to compete with even Beatrice. If she has Beatrice, she's much stronger than Beatrice is much stronger than Esther even. That's just sad. That's just sad. So, anyways, guys, sorry to deliver the bad news with Esther, but we gotta be straight down the middle. We gotta tell the truth. I'm not a hype man. I will never say Esther is the best enhancements. Oh my god, you gotta enhance her right away. I'm never gonna do that. No way. If she, on the other side, if you have no other damage dealers and you've had Esther only this whole time and you're like literally like a free-to-play player and you have almost nothing, then of course you will want to enhance her. I'm sure you'll still be able to find friends for her and do some stuff. Just don't expect to be able to do the newest trials when they come out as easily as possible as other damage dealers, which is the cornerstone of this game, is to use new units on new trials and stuff like that. So I rambled up way too long. Sorry about all the rambling, but I just feel a little passionate about all these 3 units because all 3 of them are, I like them, so I feel bad. So thanks for watching, guys. If you watched all the way through, type in #Rondo. #Rondo will be the keyword for the end of this video. Thank you for watching, and I hope that this helps you out. Next time, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.